Beginners Lesson 1. This is the first lesson in a series. I'm going to make these in a series so that you can follow along. Start from the beginning. If you've already been training with your bow for a long time, you're still going to get better. Turn it from side to side, slow as smooth, smooth as fast. You're just warming up the joints, building strength in that forearm, strength in your hand. Your hand's in the middle of your bow as you turn it, side to side. Depending on how heavy your staff is, you want to go slow if it's light. You want to go slow if it's heavy. You want to go fast if it's light. Just to protect that joint. After 30 seconds, put in the other hand, and then do the same thing on the other side. Slow as smooth, smooth as fast is really important when you're learning complex moves, but it's also important to start slow. If you're using a heavy staff like I am here, this is the heaviest staff I have, I've got to start off slow until my muscles get warmed up, the joints warm up, and then you can speed up. Start to challenge those muscles to grow a little bit. You're gonna get stronger faster when you take your time. Hello, Patrick, it's good to see you. Now you're gonna go from one hand into the other hand and out. So your pinkies come together as you turn it out. You're just going from hand to hand. You're gonna do a lot of hand passing in this basic lesson 1, this first Learn Bow Staff at Home for Beginners lesson 1. Hello, Steven, it's good to see you. You've been asking me for a while to make a video series. How do you get started with the bow? And this is it. We're getting started right here, right today. Hello, it's good to see you. Side to side. And then I want you to go up, straight over your head, and keep doing that side to side motion. I'm gonna get you over your head and behind the back right away in this workout. This first lesson, lesson 1, bow staff training at home for beginners, lesson 1. I want you to learn some fun, interesting, challenging moves. So we get over the head right away. And each one you're going to do it for about 30 seconds. So each exercise. Now from here, you're going to bring it back down in front of your body. You're going to put it in your right hand. Your thumb of the right hand is going to lead this sideways figure 8 motion. So we're going right into a circle on the left and a circle on the right. So a figure 8, infinity sign. Keep your stomach up and in, drop your chin, slow as smooth, smooth as fast, take your time. Really challenge yourself to learn it correctly from the start. But don't overthink it. Don't wait to start. If you don't have a bow yet, pick up a broomstick, pick up a dust mop, pick up a curtain rod, and spin it. Going from side to side, diving in and coming back. And again, it's just making this motion here, going to one side. Hello, Brooklyn. Yeah, Brooklyn's asking, can we do more everyday improvised weapons? Yes, Brooklyn, I've been thinking about that a lot lately. I just had a conversation tonight with a client who was asking specifically for that as they feel less and less safe in their environment. And you can't always carry what you want to carry. So you want to be able to pick things up and defend yourself. We will make those videos. So you went side to side, slow as smooth, smooth as fast. Pull your stomach up and in, drop your chin, get your other hand up. I always say learn the skill. You can always take the skill with you and then pick up anything to use as a weapon because you have the skill in your hands, in your body, in your mind, in your soul. So train with the bow staff, train with the Joe, train with all the different things you can. Practice throwing, that's a good one for self-defense. Now, after you've done that for 30 seconds, you're now going to go from one hand into the other hand. When you take it into the other hand, this is your right hand. You're going to take your left hand behind your right, and the pinkies come together, and then bring it back over to the right side in your left hand. The right hand comes behind it. Seems like an oversimplification, and it will be once you get it, but at the beginning, it can be a little elusive. It's hard to get, and then you get it, and then you've always got it. Go from one side to the next, just coming in here and coming there. Bonjour. It's good to see you. Welcome, everybody. from one side to the other. Take your time with it. And as far as footwork goes, for this first bow staff lesson at home for beginners, lesson 1, just put your feet under your body. Don't overthink your feet. There's no special footing at this level. We're just moving. I want you to think of one thing at a time. Think of your hands, think of your arms. And then put it back in your right hand, and we're going to continue with that figure 8 motion. But instead, hello, Awkward the cat. It's good to see you. Awkward the cat shared with me her training routine. It was very smart. I like the way it was broken down. So you're carving with the thumb when you make that figure 8. Now we're going to pull with the pinky, pulling it up and back from one side and to the other side. One other thing you're going to find is that this is really going to help your shoulders grow stronger and healthier. Just pulling here. Hello, Diana. Nice to see you. Pulling up and over and up. And sometimes you'll trick yourself. You'll think you're doing this and you're really doing this again. So you have to slow it down and think about, watch your hand. Pull with that pinky side. Pull it up and out. Once you get it, you can start to speed it up. Get a lot of speed in these spins, but start with what feels right. Put it into the other hand. You're going to take it now in front of your body in your left hand and start that reverse spin. This first lesson, lesson 1 in Learn Bow Staff at Home for Beginners, covers the basics of spins. Spinning is where a lot of people want to start. I want you to learn both. I want you to learn how to spin, and I want you to learn how to hit. You can also learn how to block. I'll teach you that too. But learn how to defend yourself with your bow. It's an incredible weapon. You've got 6 feet between you and the threat. Maybe you have a 5-foot bow. That's also a good length. The average knife, 6 inches, 9 inches, 18 inches even. Maybe they've got a machete, 36 inches. You still have a lot of a reach advantage when you defend yourself with a bow staff. So I want to teach you how to do both. But today, lesson 1, we're going to spin. So you're pulling up and out. Now you're going to go from hand to hand like you did in the forward spin. And when it's on the same side of your body, when it's in the left hand on the left side, your right hand comes in front and pulls it out. And then when it's on the right side, the left hand comes in front and pulls it out. You're just pulling it around your body. Pulling it up and around, in from one side and the other side. The question is, which staff should you start with, Hanbo or Joe? I like the Joe as an all-around staff. It's usually about 54 inches. It's the medium staff. It comes up to where your armpit starts. The Hanbo is like a walking stick, 36 inches. Start with what you can get. If you can get anything you want, my personal preference, but what works for you might not work for me. I like the Joe because you can do a lot of the same things you can with the longer staff and the same things you can with the shorter staff. The Joe's almost like the perfect length. It's a great self-defense staff. So you're just going from one side to the other side. You're welcome for that. Thank you for that question. Now, you've done your figure 8 spins to the front. You've done them to the back. I want to go overhead. Like I said, I was going to get you overhead right away. We're going side to side again like we did in the warm-up. But when you come to the right, drop it down behind your body with a straight elbow. That means don't bend your elbow and run it into your head. From here, drop it down, and then you're going to take it behind your back. After you spin it, your hand is going to spin. Your thumb goes down, and then your thumb will be pointing up as it mirrors your spine. It's going to be parallel to your spine. And then you're going to pull it out with the left. So it's in the right hand, it goes down. The left hand comes under. You pull it out with the left, and then with a straight elbow again. And the purpose for the straight elbow is so that you don't bash yourself in the head. If you bend your elbow, you get really close to your head. You're going to bend your elbow, you're going to hit yourself in the head when you go over. And when you go down, you're going to hit yourself in the head and the back when you go down. So you go over and down, over and down. Don't get red oak. The question is, oak or red oak for a Joe staff. The red oak staff that they sell on websites, martial arts school websites, usually comes from, I think, maybe Pakistan, China, and they're kiln dried so that they don't rot. But then they finish them and they never put any oil in them, so they stay dry and brittle, and so when you hit things, they break. You'll break 2 or 3 red oak for the same price that you would buy one of these. This is made out of hickory. This is a lot stronger, it's a lot heavier too than the oak. But if you had to get white oak or hickory, I'd go with white oak or hickory. I would not do red oak anymore, ever. I've never been able, and I've taken the finish off the red oak and put the oil on it, and it doesn't seem to matter. I think it's just red oak is just somehow an inferior hardwood to white oak. So personally, if you go to the first link below, you'll see my quantum self-defense staff, and you'll see you can get this in all those different links. And thanks for being here. Go to watch later. But get this made in hickory. It'll be like $7 more, but it'll last your entire life. I have a white oak staff that I've had for 40 years now. I'll have this one until the day I die. They don't break. As long as you keep them oiled, they don't break. All right, you go one way, go back the other way, just over the head and behind the back. Now the next technique in this first Learn Bow Staff lesson at home for beginners is going to be the butterfly. And the butterfly looks like this. And this is one of the hardest ones for a lot of people to get. One hand is on top of the other. The wrists are in contact, and you slide it in like this. The white oak staff that I've had for years is 1 inch. This is also 1 inch. The white oak is lighter. But the white oak is also made in a different way. This is one solid piece. The white oak is 3 pieces that have been sliced and put together, glued together, laminated, and then they turned it on a lathe to keep it straight. The company that makes this one, I think, is a little bit better at making wooden weapons because they make those self-defense canes for years, and the craftsmen are amazing. This is the best staff I've ever had, by far. The first link below if you want to see what the dimensions are. So you're just turning it. The key to this is that when you bring it by your hand, you let it kind of drop in there, but then you've got to pull the hand out of the way when the other hand takes it. That seems to catch most people up. They get stuck there, and then you throw the hand back in, turn it over, and then get this hand out of the way, pop it in, get it out of the way, and turn it. Once you go one direction, without switching which hand is on top, go back the other direction. The question is there a specific type of oil I recommend? I like boiled linseed oil. I like mineral oil. Butcher block oil is really good. I've even used coconut oil. But then it smells like coconut. And I don't care about the smell so much, but I just, being traditional or old. Traditional is another word for old. Being old, I'm just comfortable with what I'm comfortable with. So I like the boiled linseed oil. So you bring it one way, bring it the other way, and then we'll move on to a wrist roll. And this is the next in this lesson, this first lesson. And this will seem like a lot, so you've got to watch this again. And then you can turn the volume off and hit there's little 3 dots up in the corner of your video player on YouTube, and you can slow it down. You can pick the playback speed and go to the slowest playback speed that you need to see what I'm doing. And then just keep going. And it's okay if you struggle. It's okay if you don't get it right away. It's okay if you drop it 1,000 times. Just pick it up 1,000 times. Get your ego out of the way and keep moving. Don't expect to be able to do everything the first time. That arrogance trips us all up. if you can get that out of the way and say, you know what, I've never done this before, so of course I'm not good at it. That's okay. I will be when I don't quit. And you have to adopt the word yet. I can't do it yet. I don't have enough money yet. I can't afford it yet. And if you say yet at the end of all those limiting sentences, you'll be shocked and amazed, if you're not already doing it, how your life will change. Because you will reach every goal you ever set. Can't do it yet. Don't know how yet. Haven't figured it out yet. Yes, it is a poisonous mindset. Good observation. So you just open your hand and turn it. The key here is how stable you can keep the arm. When your arm is moving all around, you're adding all this extra pushing from side to side, and that's what makes it really hard to do. Good, you said you're still struggling with the wrist rolls, that's okay. Another way you can do the wrist rolls is get it to here, open the hand, and assist with your other hand. Get it to here, open the hand, assist. So kind of like walk it, and then do this as much as it takes. And just keep moving in that direction. Can't do it yet, but you will when you don't quit. One side and the other side. And then if you want, you can go continuously. And this is the question that you always ask me, is that when you do this roll, let's try to see if I can do it. You end up with one long side and one short side. The key to not having one side, because then it's going to fall on the ground. The key with keeping your hand in the middle is that when you go around, you're adjusting your hand a little bit. Hi, Robert, it's good to see you. And then you're catching it, and then you turn it. You open the hand, catch it, but you're sliding your hand. You're letting the staff move, kind of slide with itself. Let me grab that other staff real quick because I want you to see this. This is really important. You can see this best on one of my, sorry about all this movement. Hi there, Sensei Emmett. It's good to see you. So you can see that this is the center. So if I just turn, look at where your hand ends up. Your hand went that far away from here. Marty, first time with me live. Marty, thank you for being here. Welcome. What you have to do when you turn is let it slide back to the center as it's turning. Now that's easier said than done. That is not hard or easy to say. So if you open, you have to almost let it slide. You can see my hand kind of pulling back and recapturing the center. So you have to let it slide and then go back into the center. If you can't do that, oh good. Sensei Emmett's in Ireland, just got home from the dojo. They bring him here. Thank you, Robert. Robert says these are the best classes. You just come around, open your hand, and then let it slide back in. If you don't, you've got a long side and a short side. So open that hand, slide it back in. Now this is lesson one. I'm going to do many of these lessons. I'm going to try to put them in a single playlist. And I've done this before. There are other playlists and others where you can do lesson one, lesson two, lesson three, where I've gone up 8 lessons. I've got all the curriculum written down. If you wanted to earn a belt in bow, just reach out to me. I can send it to you. It's on Pasquinelli.com. It's on the website. I'm going to throw up a new bow. There's a bows channel. I'm going to make the bow link a little bit better. Sally says, first time here. Great to have. Yeah, thanks for being here, guys. I really appreciate that. Thank you for watching. Marty says, will this work with a cane? You can. It's just with a crook, it's a little lopsided. But definitely, you can definitely wrist roll with a cane. You can do all these motions with a cane. It's just a stick. It's a stick with a hook on the end. It's a nasty stick with a hook on the end for self-defense. It's my favorite self-defense weapon. This is my favorite martial arts weapon. All right, so now from the wrist roll, I want you to do the finger roll. And the purpose of doing the finger roll in this first lesson, even though it's going to be elusive. And again, here's another one where you can help. make it work with that other hand. But learning how to do, yeah, it works with the shillelagh, or shillelagh. My Irish father-in-law helped me understand the other day, because he's not the type to correct. He's very polite. And he said, I think it's pronounced shillelagh. And so we went and we found the proper pronunciation from County Wicklow, in the town of Shillelagh, where a lot of them are made. Anyway, so you're rolling through your fingers. The purpose of this is to improve the health and the strength in your grip. Improve the health in your forearm, get rid of the tendonitis, and to really build power. If you do any other martial arts, if you do striking or you do grappling, like a jiu-jitsu or a judo or even Western wrestling, you're gonna have a great grip for grappling. If you do striking martial arts, you're gonna have a hard, powerful strike. Your hands are gonna be heavier when you hit, all from doing finger rolls. So you're just going through, take your time, slow as smooth, smooth as fast. You can do this in both directions. It takes a little bit more work. I've been working on that, going in reverse. It's a lot harder. As soon as I realized that I could do it, or that I could learn how to do it, I said, I have to do that. It's hard. Anything that's hard to do, you want to challenge yourself to do. So that's just the reverse. Go forward, go in the reverse, and then we're going to go back to spinning from one side to the other side. And this is going to be your freestyle practice. In these lessons, I'm going to have you do some freestyle bow flow, freestyle at the end of the workout. We're going to start with this hand-to-hand, figure eight, and then do a wrist roll. Hand-to-hand, figure eight, and then do a wrist roll. So you're going to do it whenever it makes sense to do it. That's what freestyle is. Freestyle doesn't have to be the same every time. You want to change up your patterns a little bit. You get into this rhythm, and that's a rhythm break. And then, when you're ready, throw in a finger roll. Wrist roll into a finger roll. You can do one hand and do a wrist roll in one direction and a wrist roll in the other direction. Wrist roll in one direction, wrist roll in the other direction. Throw in a finger roll and a wrist roll, back into a finger roll, and then finish your workout just playing around with adding these different moves. And if you're super fancy, go over your head, behind your back, come out into a figure eight, and then do a wrist roll. Go over your head. You can even do the wrist roll overhead if you do it fast enough. I'm trying to slow it down so you can see it. But over the back, over the head, to the other side, wrist roll, finger roll. And then you've got your freestyle, which is going to change your brain, make you so much better when you use your bow. You guys have been awesome. Thanks for being here. Thank you, David. I haven't seen the new Cobra Kai yet. Oh, I'll look for it. I'll look for your friend Sean. I'll go watch today the episode that came out today. True story. Years ago, I had this woman who worked for me. She worked for me for 12 years, and she was married to a woman. Or no, she wasn't married to a woman. Her cousin, her first cousin that she grew up with, who's her best friend, was married to Ralph Macchio. And she came to me one day in my office and she said, you probably don't know this because I've never said it, but my cousin is married to Ralph Macchio. And Ralph Macchio would like to do a reality TV show, but he doesn't really know martial arts except for what he learned for the Karate Kid movie. This was like 20 years ago. Yeah, about 20 years ago. And she said, could he call you and talk to you and pick your brain and use you as the martial arts expert to prepare for this show that he's trying to take off? And it wasn't Cobra Kai, it was something he was trying to do with a reality thing, when reality shows first came out. So I got into martial arts because of the Karate Kid, and I said, absolutely, please. So he called, we talked several times on the phone, and Ralph Macchio sounds just like Ralph Macchio did in the Karate Kid years ago, and he does right now in the Cobra Kai series. So there's a little funny connection. I never met him in person, but he sent me a nice picture and a nice letter endorsing my program. He didn't know anything about it. But he was fun to talk to. And he sounds, like I said, he sounds just like he does in, what was the movie where he played my cousin Vinny, and then he gets in trouble or whatever. he sounds the same as he does in every movie. So great guy, fun to work with. He was trying to do a really important TV show that would have helped a lot of people. So he's that kind of guy. Anyway, you guys have been awesome. I'll see you in a little bit. Thanks. Have a great weekend.